check. Yes.
Cool. Hey, Aaron. Welcome to Club Apple. Want to have you on as a fellow new Apple Watch owner. I think we got ours almost the same day. Maybe you got yours like a day earlier.
Yeah, I think I did get it maybe like a day or two earlier.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but yeah,
we were
but
talking about it. We knew we were gonna get it
two.
that week.
It's crazy. Aaron Rivera, welcome. Um, most people probably know of you. You've been on past episodes of this very hibernated show that is now back. Um, but yeah, it's funny. Back when the Apple Watch launched, you're talking about getting one that initial week. I wasn't too
Yeah.
keen on it, but you were, and well, we finally both got them in the same week. And you didn't get it because of the fancy new gold navy look, which is pretty hot. But
Nah.
you got the black or the space gray, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got the space gray. So here we go. You can see that there. I got the black sport band with space gray and 42 millimeter. The reason why I went with that is because I always like space gray. I just like how
Does it
it's,
match your phone as well?
no, because
Okay.
Apple's not consistent with their space gray for some reason. And I was talking with a friend about this like a few days ago.
What's
Is
your
that
phone? You have a 6?
yeah, I have the iPhone 6, so you can see here if you're watching the video. So we got the back of the iPhone 6,
Wait, that's
and then
not
we got
silver?
the no, it looks silver, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but no, the space gray is silver on the
Because
phone.
my gold matches my gold padded phone
Yeah,
perfectly. And if I had a MacBook, it'd match that pretty
yeah,
perfectly. So
yeah.
yeah,
There,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. Like I mean, if you look back at like the other iPhone, like the iPhone 5, the space gray on there was black.
Black is the hardest color to be consistent with.
It
They have the
is,
most
yeah,
issues with black, and I think white in certain materials is hard to get right. Um,
yeah.
yeah, the white the elastomer band I guess is heavier because of how hard it is to get white
Oh
color
yeah,
just perfect. Yeah, the weights between the colors are slightly different, and you I guess you'll notice if you wear them enough.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, so you got the 14 millimeter, as did I, and
So when I first, so like you had talked about, when like the Apple Watch first launched, and I was all on board for it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing, but really it was just like the cost. I'm like, I don't know, and then plus I had a lot of people talking to me saying you don't want to get a first year product, like they got to work out the bugs first. And then so at that time I was thinking, really I could deal with the 38 millimeter because I just get like the basic like model,
and,
but
and really it I think a guy can pull off a 38 millimeter just fine. The gold 38s are all girly colors, so I wouldn't really want. I say girly, but they're more they're lighter, fluffier colors. So it depends on the colors you get, of course. But
yeah.
yeah, but for me, it was a social thing. I didn't want to be that guy. Yeah, so
With
I
the small one. Yeah.
no, just like with that Apple Watch
Oh,
and rushing
without
out
the
to get it
watch.
and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, and I still have my Y Things Activité that I'll probably wear to certain social occasions where I don't want to stand out as a geek.
What
Do you
there?
do you get that at all? Like,
No. So, yeah, I don't understand where because you brought that up a couple of times about being the guy with the Apple Watch, and I don't understand where that comes from, or what situations would make you be that guy
like you're
because I
trying to
don't.
no, you're trying to blend
No, I
in and
don't
like
see
ask
it.
girls out on
Like
dates and stuff. And that's not like a thing that might draw attention in a way you don't want to.
no, because I think that like wearables are starting to really become something that everyone wants. And like when they first came out, yeah, like maybe 3 years ago, it might have been a big thing. Like, oh, look at this guy, he's got a smartwatch. Like everyone think that's weird. But now people are starting to see how useful they are. When I show people like my watch, like some people will see it. Like I went out like to dinner with a friend like a while back, and we were sitting there, and this guy comes up, or like the waiter. He was like, "So, how do you like your Apple Watch?" I kind of forgot I even had it on at that point. I was like, "Oh yeah," and I was like,
That is kind of
talking
nice.
about
Like I forget I have it on. Like it's just a
yeah,
watch.
And then, so I was talking about the features and stuff and showing a couple of things, and people just think that's really awesome. Like, oh, that'd be so helpful, you know? So I don't think people view it as like a nerdy thing anymore. They start to see how like useful it is because we always realize how much we pull out our phone. And especially when you have the watch, you realize how much you don't have to pull out your phone now.
Now it's funny because
So,
I've been a guy for the past 2 years where I turned off all sound and vibration from my iPhone because I got annoyed with it, and because I switched away from not having a Pebble to using the Withings, at work I just missed phone calls throughout the day, and I didn't really give a crap.
yeah.
It's nice to not miss those now, but I've been the guy that hasn't been bugged by my phone ever for a while now, at least. Were you a guy
Yeah.
that got bothered a lot by notifications and
Yeah.
buzzing?
So, um, you know, I'm not really active on like social media and things, and I don't um, contact a lot of people, but I have a lot of people contacting me, and I have a lot of social media stuff that I have to keep up with.
Now,
So I
contacting
do,
you is kind of the ideal with the watch. It
yeah,
works best when it's coming to you rather than you
yes,
going to it.
yeah. So like before the watch, I would just get tons of notifications and things and calls and text messages. So I would end up turning off the sound and like the vibrate would still be on. So my phone would be vibrating like constantly throughout the day. When I got home, I'd forget to turn on the sound again. So it would just sit on a table and then I wouldn't hear it and I'd miss all kinds of stuff.
Now, have you turned off
Yeah.
vibration on your phone at this point?
No, I still haven't.
Why?
No.
Why?
Well,
I,
because
like
this is the best
you gotta
thing
be able
about
to
the
unplug.
watch.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. This is the best thing about the watch is that when you're wearing the watch, it's got the sensors on the back, so it knows that you're wearing it. And as long as your watch is unlocked, like meaning that you can either put in the passcode to unlock it, or you can
Hmm.
set it to where if you're wearing it and you like unlock your phone for the first time, then it'll stay unlocked.
Yeah.
So as long as you're wearing it, it knows, and your notifications will go straight to the watch instead of to your phone. Like your phone will stay silent and
But
it won't
I would
vibrate.
argue when I take off my watch, I don't want to be bothered because I'm wearing it unless I'm in bed sleeping.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So the fashion thing is not a big deal. You're comfortable in pretty much all
yeah,
situations
I'm
with
pretty
it. Yeah.
comfortable. But it's one thing that you do have to consider when you get the Apple Watch about like fashion. You got to think about you're going to be wearing this every day. So
The
at least for
bands.
me, I was like, I got to get something that matches what I wear, and I typically wear very solid colors and stuff. And I was like, just black will go with everything.
Yeah.
I tend to wear a lot of grays and whites and black anyway. So
Well, I was very pleasantly surprised. It matches my blue my navy blue polo quite nicely. The band
oh yeah,
and navy goes well with that. Black, blue, and browns go pretty well.
yeah,
You don't want to mix brown and black, but you can mix black and blue pretty well. So I have been the gold. I think is more for me at least. It seems that I can pull off more than I could the other sport models. Um,
yeah. I have seen some people wearing the sport like aluminum or just the
yeah, the
silver
silver.
silver sport, and it stands out on your wrist. I think a lot more than any of the other ones, just because it's so bright. Like,
Yeah, and the original wave was all these bright colored bands that just
yeah,
they were meant to draw attention to the fact that you're wearing one. The
yeah,
latest batch of bands are all subtle fall colors, which is a nice change.
yeah, and I think that's pretty interesting that they're actually making different seasons of bands. Is that like they called it their fall line? So
Yeah,
I'm expecting them to do this like for
yeah,
every season.
yeah. I think the you'll see body changes, you'll see band changes, but the hardware will stay the same for a while.
Yeah.
I think maybe next fall we might get new hardware. Maybe
Well, this
every
is
two
an
years kind of
interesting
thing.
thing
Yeah.
I've thought of is that the Apple Watch isn't some, and it's kind of like what we saw with uh, like the iPad Air 2. They didn't update that
Yeah, they do it
this
every other year, I
fall.
think, on the iPads. So the Mini skipped a
Well,
year, the Air skips a year, the Pro we don't know yet. They may at the beginning of the Pro line do it every year
Yeah.
for a while. But yeah,
So
they're
like, so maybe these products that we're starting to use now are something that's going to last a little bit longer. Um, so maybe they don't really need, because when you think about the watch, it works with your phone. You don't necessarily have to get a new watch that's going to
but Aaron,
have new hardware features,
I
but you
want
got
GPS, Aaron. I'm a runner. I want my freaking maps with a native Runkeeper app with GPS. I want that in there. That's one thing I
well.
want out of Apple Watch that's not in there now. I want disable GPS for all their times other than exercise runs. Just I don't need it that at any other time.
I
Like,
think if,
yeah.
if they're going to do that, what needs to improve about the watch is the battery life first.
Now I've been getting amazing life out of mine.
Well, yeah, I've been getting really good battery life, but
If you have
I'm
GPS,
I'm
it'll suck
thinking,
it
yeah,
out,
I'm
right?
thinking about if people are going to be using it on its own, it's really going to, because right now a lot of the things that are done are on your phone.
You wouldn't
Like the
need it. I
watch
mean,
is
you can
just
already
receiving.
go for a workout by yourself, and the heart rate sensor with that
Yeah,
cranking, it does drain the battery faster than any other activity on the watch.
yeah,
At GPS, it drain even more. I'd love the option, but I see why it's not in there.
yeah,
Sadly, yeah. But yeah, I do agree it's gonna be a longer upgrade cycle, which is okay, I think.
yeah. I think it's okay for this because
The
I,
software is the biggest weak link at this point, right?
well, I
As
don't
far as
know because,
responsiveness.
oh yeah, responsiveness for sure. There is sometimes if you haven't used an app for a while and you go to it, you get a little spinning thing. Yeah,
They
it's like
also
it's
launched the
so
Messenger app today that just came out for the Apple Watch, and I thought
Messenger,
it was neat.
like Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger. They just launched Apple Watch app, and it spun more than I would have liked it to for a WatchOS 2 app.
Well, I think that Facebook though is notorious for having poor applications.
They've
their
been getting better. They
their
have.
their like mobile Facebook app has been terrible for so long. I think.
Oh, for battery sucking, yeah.
Yo, yeah. Like I looked at my phone the other day to see which apps was using the most battery, and that was using 26% of my
Yeah.
battery.
The Messenger
So
app though, I've always been pretty happy with, and they just added split screen for iPad. But anyways, yeah, the responsive. I love the OS and how it's designed, and I am finding it fairly intuitive. I say that after being who I am. I researched some stuff ahead of time of using it. It's like I'm excited. Let me watch some videos on how to use this thing. But after understanding the language of the watch and how to navigate, it seems fairly straightforward.
yeah, that's one of the things I really like about the Apple Watch is that you don't have to really learn. Like when I first got it, I was like, maybe I should watch some videos and try to learn some things. And I started watching. Apple has a site you can go to, and it has a bunch of tutorials. And I watched the first video that was like an intro to what the watch is, and I sort of already knew most of that, so I was like, maybe I'll just mess around and see what I can find out. And I haven't watched any more because it's so easy to pick up. Um, it's just if you want to do something, it just feels like natural. If you've had like not even like an iPhone, but like a smartphone, you know how to use the Apple Watch. So
Now, yeah, so the things you wouldn't know immediately is probably the double click the friend button to get Apple Pay up and
yeah,
double click the crown to go to your last app. But once you learn that stuff, it's just
but
second
those
nature.
those things are just kind of like shortcuts, though.
They're very handy shortcuts, I'll
They
tell you.
are, yeah.
Yeah, especially when you have a timer open or whatever, just double click, boom, back in the timer.
Yeah.
Uh, so, what's your watch face? What are you
So
using? What are
my
you
watch
rocking?
face, this is I still haven't found exact. I think I need to customize one. I need to customize to get to something that works best for me. But
Mm-hmm.
as of now, the one I've been sticking with the most is just like the basic, the one that you get. It's
The
just got the
modular.
time. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I hate
modular.
that watch face, Aaron.
Oh, really? Man, I like
Because
that
they
one.
don't focus on the time, they focus on the center complication. I want the
Well,
time as the main object on the screen and everything
I
else
always see the
ancillary.
time and the date first because it's at the top, and the time is
But
still the largest. I mean, it
no, it's
has the
smaller.
no, well, it has the largest font of everything else on the screen.
Takes up less screen
So,
space though, right?
Well, yeah, but it's the largest font size,
It's
so
terrible
so it
design.
stands out
Yeah.
to me at least.
Okay.
But like it has the information that I want to see there, like at a glance. So it has a temperature in the morning. You know, I put on my watch, I take a look at the temperature. I can see the date because I always forget what the date is, and then I can see like my activity tracker down at the bottom, which I think is pretty cool. I don't really care too much about like the calendar. It's in the center because I don't really have a lot of events going on throughout the day. But the other one that I use a lot, which I think changing watch faces is really fun because you
Yeah, I'll
get to
do it at
use
night.
like the
I'll change to
pressure.
like a photo at night when I just want to glance and be reminded
Yeah,
of this great photo.
but you get to use like the 3D touch, I guess they call it now. You get to
It's
press on
force
it.
touch on. You're forced on the
Oh
Apple
yeah,
Watch.
it's
You
force touch
you
and
you won't
3D touch.
because
Oh,
there's only one layer of touch. On the iPhone, you can press and then press in again. So there's multiple dimensions of
oh
touch
yeah,
there.
that's true.
You
That's
got your
true.
dimensional touch.
But the other watch face that I like a lot is the one that shows like the Earth or Moon, like astronomy, I think is
Yeah,
what it's
yeah.
called. Because I really like astronomy. I like seeing,
That
well,
one's like
really,
three faces in one. You got the Earth, you got the solar
yeah,
system, you got the moon, and you can
yeah,
keep it at one of those if you want to.
yeah. It's pretty cool to see, and the coolest thing about it is that it's like real time. So as the sunlight changes, you can see night, like the shadow going across the earth. And the same for the moon. You can see as like what the moon really looks like. And what I just found out just before the show that I never noticed before, or maybe I just wasn't looking at it long enough, is that it shows your current location as a green dot
Yep.
on the globe, which is pretty cool.
Now,
So
the cool. I saw a screenshot of someone in Alaska that recently had a solar noon where they have 20 hours of sunlight, and they showed
yeah,
off the solar watch face. That is so cool, seeing like the whole day being sunlight.
yeah,
I wish that solar watch face had at least one complication. That is the downside with these fancier ones. You can't customize them at all, pretty much.
yeah. And
Uh,
that's the reason why I don't stay on this one all the time, is because I'd like to have a little bit more information on there.
Now, my favorite watch face, Aaron, is the simple watch face with the gold second hand that is available on my watch face, my watch. And then
Let
I
me look at
put
this. Oh,
a
simple. Yeah.
simple, and I turn off all the different, as simple as possible. So turn off all the markings around it. The top left, I'll put the my current time digitally. I use the trick of using a space in the world clock to have it not show any text, so just the time in digital. Then I'll have the date in the top right, activity in the bottom left, and then the temperature in the bottom right. So it's just a very clean and simple glance at information that I like. And I also have this theory that because it's mostly black, that it's using less power every time I look at the watch because black on the OLED screen uses less power. So that's my theory at any rate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the things that I thought about with like the modular that I typically use is that it's just black and white. You can change it to have like a different color, but yeah, just the black and white it uses up to the least amount of power. So
Now I did trash the modular just a second ago, but I did customize it in a way that I think is pretty awesome. So the I have the time, and I have two complications for activity. I've got the big one with activity, and then I got a ring next to time, and that's it. And I think that looks pretty bad at the bone, quite honestly. Like it,
I think that's pretty good if you're focused on the activity. If you don't want to see anything else,
cause yeah,
for some
like
people that would be perfect.
I, it's like it's the perfect activity watch face if that's what you're looking at and tracking. I can see I've staying 13 out of 12 hours. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the modular is the problem of getting too out of hand sometimes. You'll just put too much stuff in there and you get headaches from looking at it. That was my issue. It's like, I want everything. They got headaches from looking at it. So I went to the simple watch face. Um, but yeah, I hope they had more watch faces. I hope they had more ways to customize these things. And I really want them to change back the utility watch face to have a non-colored activity complication. I guess with WatchOS 1, it was white, like the simple watch face.
Yeah.
And uh,
So You never got to use WatchOS 1, did
Neither of us did, or did you?
No, I did because I
Why?
just got my watch because I haven't been doing a very good job of keeping up when things are coming out.
Okay.
So when I got my watch, I just wore it for like 2 days without realizing that I didn't have OS 2.
Yeah, I didn't want to deal with
And
OS one. Like, let me just install right away.
and then I was talking with a friend, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't remember what the feature was, but he was like, you need to do this," and I was like, "I don't have that," and he's like, "Do you have OS 2?" And I was like, "I don't know," and I looked and I didn't, and I was like, "Ah, I need to get that." So
Now, one thing I was just noticing as I was making more watch faces the other day is there's no way to reorganize which watch face is first in your lineup. You'd have to
oh,
delete
sorry.
it. And
No,
see,
see,
Aaron, this is another
that's the
thing.
problem.
Okay, Aaron. Question: why do you have sound on your watch? Because like
um,
it's a more intrusive thing, and the watch is meant to be unobtrusive in
well,
my mind, right?
so I was telling you that normally I turn my phone on vibrate, which I don't know why I didn't have it on vibrate. Oh yeah, because I took a nap earlier. I set the alarm. So,
And why does your
but
phone ring if your watch rings? You just said it didn't do that.
well, because my phone is on vibrate normally, so I
Okay.
guess that's what I was. Well, no, what I was thinking is that when you get like a text message,
Hmm.
then your phone won't it won't make a sound.
But for phone
It'll
calls,
go
it
to the
will.
watch. Yeah, which I guess I never thought of before.
Okay.
That's pretty weird.
But yeah, so
Well, I
you
guess it's
leave your
because you can
sound on your
cancel.
watch.
I do.
I don't understand
Yeah,
people that do that. It seems like
because
I know when
I
I
don't
get
know.
tapped. I know when I get tapped. I don't want to let the whole world know that I get tapped. That's kind of ruins the whole mystique of it.
Yeah, I don't know why I left the sound on there. I guess um, just didn't really mess with it. I don't know. I don't really have a reason, but
Yeah,
it doesn't really
it's
bother
so much
me
more
that
like
much.
zen to just turn the sound off, and then people don't know when you're getting alerted.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But then,
even my boss at work turned off the sound on his watch. I noticed at the beginning he had the sound on, and I was just thinking it's like just turn the sound off, just in my mind, and then he eventually did. I think eventually we'll come around to
maybe,
the Tim was
yeah,
right in turning sound off on the watch.
yeah, we'll see. But it doesn't really bother me right now, because there are some times when I don't feel well. Okay, like the normal, like tap, I don't feel that. So I
And I,
turned on
yeah.
the prominent
Oh, you
feedback.
did.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that stands out a lot more because it gives you more like a little like a vibrate before. So it's like a solid vibrate and then the
Hmm.
tap, and
So
that's yeah.
for me, I don't get bothered if I miss a notification. That's the thing. Like, oh well, I missed a tap. I don't really give a crap. I'm gonna get the really important ones, like a phone call coming in, because it's and timers going off because it's constant for a while.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't care if I miss a notification. I'll just glance at my watch and see a red dot. It's like okay. So that's why I like that it's there as an option, but I'm not sure how necessary it really is for. I guess it depends how anal you are about like needing to know instantly about things.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
crazy how
know.
that happens though.
I don't have like a need to know everything, but it's kind of just become a habit to, as soon as I like get a notification, you want to see what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. So you're getting through a whole day pretty well with the watch as far as
Oh,
battery.
yeah. So the first day that I had it, I wore it for a really long time. That was a very long day for some reason. Um, I think I wore it for about 24 hours. And when I took it off and plugged it in, it had 18% left. And so,
You're probably
like,
using it
yeah,
more your first day too,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I did
So,
too, for sure.
yeah, so they did say that it was going to have all day battery life. Never really said, how long that is, but all day. So I would say like typical person or even like extended days would be like 18 hours that you'd be wearing this thing. So you could expect it to last that long. I use it 24 hours with pretty constant use because I always wanted to check it out and like mess with it.
Hmm.
So I, with the extra 18% left, I'd be pretty confident that even if you didn't charge it for a day, you could easily get through 2 days, maybe
You
even
could,
to three
depending on your
days.
usage. I am,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm finding at work. It's like, oh, it's still 70%. It's 5 p.m. It's like, what the
yeah,
heck? Because like the more you wear it, the more it's just like a watch, and you'll glance at it for notifications
yeah,
and some quick interactions. Like I'll use it to, uh, you know, change the lights in my house, unlock the door when I get home, stuff like that, but quick stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it, yeah.
I'm seeing that when I get home, or like whenever I take it off at the end of the night, I'm usually in between 70 and 60%, like somewhere between there. So
Where are you now?
right now, let me see. Let me just pull it up on
Oh
my
wow, I'm
phone.
at
It's easier
32.
to
This has been a
check.
heavy day for the watch.
Right now, I'm at 76%.
Yeah, I'm at 32. But then again, I went for a run, so
Yeah,
that drains it a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah,
do a
like
whole lot
yeah,
of
if
activity.
you yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Do you exercise at all with the watch? Do you?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll like walk with it. I don't
Okay.
really,
Are
you
you trying to
know,
fill the rings at all?
no, I'm not really trying.
Okay.
The first couple of days, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fill these up, and I did a couple of times, but I don't know. I'm just not really into all that. So,
Not
you
to be
know,
fit,
but
Eric. Come on, man.
nah,
Team fit.
maybe someday. But
Yeah.
the
You can adjust the move goals to something really
yeah, I
achievable.
have mine on light, so
Okay.
I can achieve that pretty
Okay. You
easily
can even
throughout the
turn it
day.
down below that. Every week it gives you an
Yeah, yeah.
opportunity to turn it down.
So
Yeah.
the light for me was 490 calories, which I can achieve pretty easily.
Yeah.
And you don't even really have to think about it. You just kind of
Hmm.
do it throughout the day.
Yeah.
Especially, with my job, I get up and walk around whenever
Yeah.
I
So you
get a
hit the stand
chance.
goals, no problem. Sure. Right.
Yeah, the stand goal's pretty easy to meet, and it. What's pretty cool is it like lets you know about 10 minutes till like the hour if you haven't met your stand goal.
Hmm.
And it's like get up and move, and then so you stand up and walk around a little bit. Um, but every once in a while, I'll be like, man, I don't want to get up. I'm watching this TV show. It's too good.
Yeah.
but for a while, the first week, every time it would come on, I'd be like watching TV. I'd be like, oh yeah, and I'd stand up and walk around the room and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the most annoying thing is it counts 6 a.m. as an idle hour for me when the watch is still charging. It's like, please don't count that as an idle hour. I'm still in bed. So it'll like tell you your idle hours during the day. It's like, please start this later when I have it on. That's my biggest gripe with the stand thing. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah, I've been loving the fitness part of it because I've never had a heart rate monitor just strapped to my wrist
Oh
throughout the
yeah, it's
day.
so
It's a big
cool.
change.
Um, yeah, I see. Like you just kind of find out more stuff about yourself, seeing your heart rate,
You
and
really
just
do. Like I
seeing
thought,
how.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I was running like at like 150, but no, I'm at like 170 to 200. It's like, oh, okay, it's good to
Yeah.
know.
And I have a very low resting
What do
heart
you at?
rate. I found out. I'm usually at about 54 to 57,
It's pretty
like
good. Pretty
resting.
good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, some of the lows have been really fun. It's like, oh my gosh, I hit like 47 or 44 at one time. And once I wore it, like I was up late at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something. Oh, I fell asleep. Yeah, okay. Here's what happened. I fell asleep in bed and like woke up in the middle of the night or whatever. So I was wearing it while I was sleeping, so it got insanely low. And I was counting those as idle hours for standing too, because the watch thinks you should be
yeah,
standing at all times if you're wearing it, um, which is funny. But
yeah. It's pretty interesting to check your heart rate when you're doing different things that you never think about what your heart rate might be
hmm
during that. Like playing like a video game. When I got really excited one time, I checked my heart rate and I was like, "What? Like 94? Like what?
right,
This is
I
crazy."
kind
Yeah,
of want an iPad game to integrate with the watch to know my heart rate and react to my heart rate in some way, or
like a
some
horror game.
yeah, something like that, or
Yeah,
an Apple TV, horror game or something like that. It'd be great if
yeah,
PlayStation could interact with my Apple Watch, but I don't think that'll happen.
yeah. I don't
Uh,
think it will.
yeah, it doesn't quite read health kit,
Yep.
and it wouldn't be immediate. You need it like that's the other thing. I wonder if non-exercise things can access the heart rate constantly. That was a line in the developer thing. I'm not sure if that's okay or not. Uh, but anyways, yeah, it's interesting because I work at a standing desk, so I don't have a. So my resting heart rate at work is a little bit higher than it would be sitting down all day. So it's a little bit. It's kind of curious to see how high it gets when I'm working.
Yeah.
But
Another thing that's really interesting about the heart rate is sending your heart rate to another person,
oh yeah, so you Harvey, I did
because
that once. It's kind of
yeah, you can feel it on your wrist, and it's kind of um, it like I kind of want to think to myself like, man, that's really cool that we can send our heart rate to other people, but then I think it's kind of weird. at the same time.
I'm sending you my heartbeat, Aaron.
Oh, I'm about to get that.
Yeah,
It
it's a
hasn't
weird
come up
thing.
yet.
It's a weird thing because
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense for certain relationships for sure. Um, but yeah, it's kind of a different thing. In the digital touch thing, you could almost create like if you're like picking up a kid from school and they have a watch, you kind of tap them when you're there instead of texting them. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that's better or worse, but you could create kind of different tap signals and fake Morse code because you can't do Morse code. It doesn't do dots and dashes. It's you don't get to pick your length of touch, and I hope they add that. WatchOS 3 add the
Ooh,
ability to
I just
do the
got
length.
something.
Yeah,
Send you
you
a
got my heartbeat.
heartbeat.
It's a
Oh
strong
man,
like.
that's a little bit higher than I would expect.
Well, you know, I'm very uh, excited about Apple Watch, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so the heart rate thing, that's one of the easy things to demo in the glance is the heart rate. The other glance that's really fantastic is the now playing glance that has special
Oh
access to things that
yes.
other glances don't. Uh,
Yeah, the now play. I don't really ever look at like the now playing glance, but when I get in my car, I pull up like the music app, and I plug in my phone, to my car, and then I will control the music. I don't really change songs that much, but if I'm listening like to Apple Music and I want to see what that song is, I just glance at my watch, and I can see it, and so
well, the now playing glance, it's great because you can play and pause music, and if Overcast is playing, you can hit the 30-second thing in the now playing glance, and it'll do it in Overcast, and you can
Overcast. What do you mean?
podcast app. So it works
Oh,
with
okay,
any
yeah.
audio that's playing on your
Oh,
iPhone.
really? Wow,
Yeah,
I
so
didn't know
that
that.
glance will work for anything.
That's pretty cool.
And then you can also use the digital crown to adjust the volume. I think sometimes you have to tap inside of it, maybe, but you can adjust the volume with the digital crown.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a really useful one. I've noticed. Um, what glances do you have on? Because that's something I noticed. You had to get rid of a lot of glances because it just got really
I
crowded.
haven't really even messed with glances, honestly. I know that they're there, but I don't tend to use them very much. The I look at the heart rate. I look at my like activity. Those are the only really two
Okay.
types of glances I check.
So basically, shortcuts to apps as well. It's a really
Yeah,
good like dock almost for apps.
yeah.
That's
I've
another
kind
way to
of
think
gotten
about
the
it.
habit of just going to the app if I want to see something. Um,
Yeah, what I'm saying
so
though is it's almost become like my iPhone dock, where you get your three apps there that you use a lot. That if they have
yeah,
glances, it's the fastest way to get to it because it's a lot faster than trying to navigate the app screen to find the app and touch on it.
yeah,
For me, at least. So I've got the August Smart Lock as one of them, and that's one I use all the time as a kind of quick access thing. Then OmniFocus I have in there as well, which is really handy. Um,
And like the other thing that I use a lot that I don't really, or that I could use like the glance for, but I don't, is checking the weather. But I always check the weather because I, want to
that's a
know.
complication for you then. I don't really need
Yeah,
to.
yeah. So complication. So I'll tap on that, and it'll take me to the weather app, and I
Yeah.
can view everything really easily. But I do like to know when it's going to rain and stuff, which
Mhm.
it'll let me know. And then you can also use your force touch there and choose, whether you want to see the condition, the percent of rain, or the temperature, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, the carrot complication, carrot weather, I've heard is really fantastic. That's the best one. I'm it's sad, but I need a budget for a $5 app. I just don't have the money right now. I'm gonna eventually get it. It's on my to buy list of apps. But it'll like have a little umbrella sign when you should be bringing an umbrella, and it'll have temperature all in this really tiny complication. So I've heard that's the one to get if you're looking for a good complication for weather.
Yeah.
Um, so what are you mainly what apps are you mainly jumping into besides weather?
Let's see. Twitter. I like looking at Twitter on there because
Use the official app or do you use a third party?
I use the official Twitter app.
Okay.
I've always been the official Twitter app guy. I know there's
Okay.
some other ones out there that look pretty interesting, but yeah, the Twitter app is probably the most used one. Shazam is pretty good. Uh, let's see, what else do I have? And then I use the ones that are pre-installed like music a lot. The timer, mail. Oh, maps. Maps is a great one.
Oh, that's great. With mail, do you actually? How much time do you spend in mail on your watch? I'm just kind of curious on that.
Very little. Like
Okay.
if I feel my phone like vibrate once, like I just got a mail, and I might be expecting, like an Amazon shipping confirmation or
Mm.
something, then I'll just look at my watch and see it. Oh, like was that it? And then, but
Yeah.
that's it. But I don't
Yeah, I did use
really,
it once when a colleague asked me, "Did you get that email?" Blah 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 blah. Didn't have my phone nearby, so I loaded up mail. It's like, oh yeah, I got that. So,
yeah,
um, and it puts all the inboxes in one. There's no way to, like, there's no layers. Like, there's no way to segregate your inboxes just all together if you have multiple inboxes in there, which is fine. It's not
yeah,
meant to have a long time sorting through all your inboxes. Just put it all
yeah.
together.
One of that kind of like reminds me of one of the things that people tell me whenever they like get a well. There's two things. Is first thing people say is how are you going to see that? Like there's if the screen's too small is what people tell me, and I'm like, well, it's not really about the screen size. It's about the resolution. Like you can see this is like Retina.
It's
You
just
know,
text.
yeah. But I was like, this is like a Retina display. Like you can easily see it's very clear and
It's a beautiful display. This
yeah.
OLED thing they got going on, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then the second thing is they'll be like, but like if you show them like the mail thing, like you just said, you can't see all your inbox, like little things like that. They're like, well, how are you going to sort through all your mail? And I'm like, well, you don't really need to. Like this isn't meant to replace your computer.
No.
It's very limited in what it can do, but
I, I
it's
could
also very capable.
I could see a future where you just have a watch as your phone and an iPad as your computer. You do
Yeah.
quick interactions on the watch, texting and whatever, and then you got your iPad when you need deeper interactions, and the cellular
I
stuff's all on the watch.
I
Eventually, I
could
could see
see
that.
it. I could
It's
see it in
mhm.
in like a utopia, but
Well, you wouldn't be a
oh, it's
hardcore
not
user
working.
because hardcore users would need a phone where you're having longer experiences. But if you're somebody that really doesn't want to get bothered by technology and have long experiences dealing with stuff on the phone, and you only do stuff at a computer mostly, it would work.
Yeah.
Um, so, uh, yeah, the dictation surprised me. Did that surprise you how well it works and how easy that is to work with?
Yeah, it's really easy to use. It works pretty well. I have noticed that if I am like in my car driving and I want to use it, someone sends me a text message. I don't text and drive, but if I can
Well, you
speak
dictate and
while I'm
drive.
driving, yeah. Well, if
Yeah,
if I
you
can
will.
speak while I drive, then I help because one of the things I always hear from people, they send me a text message, I won't reply for like 20 minutes, and they'll keep texting me like, "What are you doing? Why aren't you replying?" I'm
See,
like
that's
because I'm
stupid.
driving.
Like,
I
we
don't
should
want.
not live in a world where texting requires an immediate response. Like,
Yeah,
you'll get to it when you get
yeah.
to it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel comfortable driving and talking. So I will, hit the button to like reply to a text message. But if I have the windows down, it doesn't work. Like it'll stop or pick up
The
other
funniest thing is
things.
when I'm playing podcasts on my iPhone while dictating on my watch, and I stop talking, and then the podcast just fills in the rest of my visit text.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish there was
But
a way to
the
tell the iPhone to stop playing audio when I'm dictating on my watch.
see, just got a message.
Yeah, you can hear your audio, man. You gotta turn that off.
Yeah, but for me, it's just another level of stuff I can get my
But yeah,
notifications.
I can see how annoying that. I guess WatchOS 1 didn't have dictating in mail, which that would drive me insane. Like that seems like such a major oversight.
Yeah, it seems like you need that.
Like
There's
you
no
just his
keyboard on
emails like,
there.
okay, let me go to my phone and do that.
Yeah,
Man. Were you
but
sur- Yeah, go ahead.
so speaking earlier about thinking that we could just have a watch and like an iPad, I think it would be nice, but I don't think it'll ever happen. We've become, or people, not me, have become so attached to phones that I don't think in at least within 10 years we're
10
ever gonna
years
move
it could
away.
happen.
I don't know. It's people love their phones and
They do.
they are stuck in a mindset of like, I don't think anything is ever going to replace. I don't want anything to replace my phone.
Now, I very quickly got very comfortable having long conversations on my watch. Have you gotten to that point yet?
I've taken a few phone calls on my watch. What's really nice about it is that there's been some times where it's really convenient. Like I was walking out of my house like my second or third day of having the watch, and I got a phone call, and so I just answered it on my wrist. And as I was carrying stuff and like walking out to my car, I was having a conversation. I didn't have to worry about holding the phone up to my ear.
Yeah.
I had both my hands free. It was awesome.
And the speaker is just loud enough so you can hear it, but it's not loud enough where the whole world hears it. Did you notice
Yeah, I
that?
don't
Where
know.
it's
I wasn't around other people, so I don't know if they were able to hear. But
it seems like the perfect volume, to me at least. And then feedback I've been getting is it tends to sound better than my Bluetooth headset when I use that with my phone.
really,
Yeah, which
I've
is
had a
amazing.
couple of
Yeah.
issues. Like when I'm at home, I think I replied to one of your tweets today talking about like Wi-Fi calling.
Yeah.
Is that in like my new apartment, I don't get very good cell signal. I
Oh,
only
I
get
get
like one
crappy cell
bar.
signal in my apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to turn on Wi-Fi calling, which is awesome because then I have calling on all my devices now all of a sudden, which is
Well,
really
all
cool.
with WatchOS 2, the watch will connect to Wi-Fi hotspots that your phone's been connected to. And with Wi-Fi calling, this has been tested, you'll be able to receive calls over Wi-Fi calling when your phone is not around.
Yeah,
Like you can leave
it's
your
pretty
phone at
cool.
home and answer calls at work.
Yeah, which is
That's
awesome.
so awesome, right? I don't think
But
initiating calls works though. I could not get that to work.
yeah, but when I'm at home and I use my watch to answer a call, it works perfectly. Like there's like I know there's not going to be any problems.
Hmm.
But there has been a couple of times when I'm out driving and I answer a call on my watch, and there's like a it's like a 1 second like delay, I guess, to where like you have to be mindful of it if you know that it's happening because you'll say something and that person will speak and then you'll respond and then it sounds like you're cutting them off.
Do you have
Like
Wi-Fi turned on?
Wi-Fi turned on, like when I'm out.
Yeah, is that
Yeah,
won't be connected, but is it turned on just for
yeah, it's
communication?
turned on,
Okay.
but it wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be connected when I'm driving. But
Yeah, yeah. I would think that there'd be a local connection with your watch using Wi-Fi even when it's not connected. Maybe I don't know, or is it just Bluetooth at that point? I'm not sure.
I think it would just be Bluetooth,
Okay.
and maybe that's why sometimes
Yeah.
I have that problem
Yeah, I
if
haven't
it's
had
only
that.
using
Yeah.
Bluetooth.
Now I have CarPlay installed in my car, which is cool. And one of the nice things with the Apple Watch is I'll load up driving directions in CarPlay, and without me doing anything at all, my watch will just start tapping me when to turn, so I can
Yeah,
not be glancing at the CarPlay display or have the audio turned on. It'll tap me when to turn, and I can glance at my wrist, and it'll give me a different kind of view of my trip ahead. So I've got both the CarPlay display, which is the big map. But I glance here, it just tells me how many miles and the turn direction. It's kind of interesting having two displays to help you on your drive.
yeah. So the first time I ever used maps on my watch, I wasn't even aware of it. I was on my phone
Yeah,
and I was looking up this like a pizza place, and so I was like, oh yeah, just give me like turn by turn directions, and I'll just listen for it. And then when I got up to my first turn, all of a sudden I felt these taps on my wrist, and I looked down like, what is that? And it's like turn right, and I was like, what? This is awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I
So
very quickly learned the. Originally, I thought it would tap you like on the right side of your wrist and the left side, but it's a different pattern, which makes
yeah,
sense. Yeah, and I guess the theory I heard is the right turn's constant because that's a constant kind of flow when you're turning right. Left, it breaks it up a little bit because you have to stop and look more.
yeah.
That's the theory I heard. Anyway, it sounds reasonable.
Well, I think whatever it is, it works. Like it's really, I was talking about like earlier how some people were telling me, well, it's a first year product. You might want to wait until they work out all the bugs. But I don't think there is really any. But it seems like to work really well. Like the entire system and the hardware, it just works
I'd
well.
agree. Some of the apps could use speeding up, but beyond that,
Yeah.
it's solid. Um, Now, have you used Apple Pay yet? Are you an Apple Pay guy?
Okay. So yes, I
I
use
freaking
Apple
love it
Pay.
on the watch. I love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
So I don't buy a lot of things, or Like I do, but I don't go
Likewise, I'm very limited in
shopping.
where what I shop, especially now. I'm trying to
Yeah,
save up and pay off some debt and things like that.
yeah. So I don't go shopping a whole lot, but when I do, I always try to use Apple Pay.
Like if you
Now,
switch grocery stores to an Apple Pay grocery store kind of thing.
no, because the only grocery store in my town that's
Yeah.
Apple Pay is super
Whole,
expensive. So
Whole Foods.
yes, so I don't really want to go
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't mind shopping there, but like it's not going to be my primary
Right. Yeah. See, I got options with
store.
that. I got a couple
Yeah.
different ones. I
So
realized Shaw's takes it, which was like, yay, they're like fairly low cost one.
yeah. But there's like a Walgreens right down the street from me that I will go to every once in a while and pick some things
Yeah.
up. And I use Apple Pay there a lot. And now I haven't been shopping since I got my Apple Watch at like an Apple Pay store. But
Mhm.
I did go to a Walgreens one day and I was going to go get a drink before I went into work. And I was like, I'm going to use my like watch to pay. This is going to be awesome. And
Did you set it up properly?
yeah, it was all set up and everything. But what I normally do if I'm going to run in somewhere, I leave my phone in my car because it's like plugged in and it's going to be
Yeah,
playing
that's all
music.
good. You don't need your phone for Apple Pay.
Well, this was the weird thing is that I went in and I was trying to use it and it showed a little red, it showed my phone kind of symbol with a red mark through it,
Yeah, disconnected, sure.
but it wouldn't use Apple Pay.
What do you mean?
Like it just wouldn't work. And I
It
was
works
like,
without the phone, though.
but it didn't work. And I was like, maybe it's because my phone's too far away
No,
since I saw
no,
that
it works
symbol.
without it.
So I
That's
don't know. Maybe there's an error with their system or something
so when you double
because
tap the
it
friend
wasn't
button, it
working.
shows your card.
Yeah, but it did not work when I did it. I mean, yeah. So
Did not work. What did it
yeah,
say?
it just showed that red symbol, and it just stayed at the Apple Pay thing. It didn't do anything.
Did it say ready and stuff, or did it not even show your card?
No, it showed my card, but it just I don't know. It just didn't work. And
And did it say ready?
I don't recall.
Okay.
But until now, I just always thought that that's what it was, is that my phone was too far
No,
away.
it works without it.
And
That's one of the
maybe,
standalone features. It's all self-contained.
oh,
You
cool.
should try again because like I
Yeah,
did
I'll
it the
try.
other day at Shaw's and oh my like the phone like that was cool but like just like walk it up and like boom and a second later it's there and done. It's
Yeah,
great. Like on the phone I'd accidentally hit the home button and cancel out of Apple Pay sometimes because I do that sometimes. It's the watch. It's as long as you can double click the friend button to get there. It's like super fast and awesome.
yeah. So, like another app that I use that is just awesome is the Cash app by Square.
Okay.
And it's really cool when you're on the watch because it shows six or like if you choose like pay or something, then it shows $1, 5, 10, 20,
Hmm.
and something like that. So you just tap on one of those, and then it comes up with a list of your contacts, and you just choose somebody, and it'll send it or it'll like request it from them,
How
and it's
often do you use
really
the
awesome.
Cash App? Because I use it once in a blue moon. You
Oh, I
sounds
use
like
it
you
a
use it a
lot.
lot.
Oh yeah, I use it a lot. So if I'm ever, I mean, like the reason for that, which is pretty smart thinking on their part, is that they give you $5 for every friend that you invite that uses it. Like gives you each $5. It just automatically deposits into
Yeah,
your
I wish I knew
account.
more people that would be okay
So
to get
yeah,
five
and I've
bucks
been
from people.
telling everyone I know. I was like, "Hey, you want $5?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." I keep getting calls and they keep vibrating, but yeah. Uh, um, and they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, just get this app and here's my link, and they'll sign up for it, and they'll get the $5. And then if I go out to eat with like my parents or friends or something, I'll be like, it's easier just to have one person pay, and we'll just use cash to transfer to whoever.
So you're using it. That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, we use a
I
lot.
still haven't gotten to that. We always split the checks and crap. And
Yeah.
yeah, old school. I know. Um,
Well,
yeah.
at least you can get. Is there a calculator on the watch? I think there is. I
Well,
saw there's a
I've got
calculator app.
the app that everyone should has PCalc. Everyone should have PCalc. And workflow is one of the most amazing things in the watch. Do you have workflow yet, Aaron?
I don't.
So workflow is brilliant. So there's a couple that work great on the watch. Um, the first set of them are the ones where you can tell the watch to search or tell workflow to search within like 5 miles of you for fast food, It'll pull up a list of restaurants that it finds, and you tap the one you want to go to, and it instantly brings up the mapping turn by turn. You can do this for any search, so anything you want to search for in maps, you can make a workflow to do that. So that's pretty awesome. The other one is as a tip calculator. It'll bring you through an interface of I've got this much, the bill's this much, and it'll instantly calculate the tip to whatever percentage you want it to. And it's faster than any of the calculators I've used for that. So workflows, it's pretty handy. It's pretty nice.
Cool.
But and then one of my bigger surprises of the watch was how comfy the band was for the Flora Elastomer. Were you
Yeah.
at all surprised with it?
It's like a feeling that you've never, well, like the entire watch itself, like the, even like the, the, I don't know what you would call it, the,
Aluminum?
yeah, like that whole section, it feels very new, like you've never felt anything like this piece of hardware before. But especially, like the band, when I first touched it, I'm like, this is a whole new material I've never felt. And you put it on and it's just really comfortable, and it feels like the problem I had with a lot of watches
You get
is
itchy.
that, yeah, then they wouldn't breathe, and it gets all sweaty, and it's just not good. You always want it, like, for me, when I used to wear a watch, like if I had to have it, it was always something I wanted to take off. As soon as I could take it off, it was off. But this, it, like, you kind of forget that it's there. Even
Yeah.
if you have, like, you kind of have to have it tight enough for the sensors to work. You don't feel it as much, and I think that has a lot to do with the material of the band.
Now, are you a medium large band or a small medium band? Which one did you?
I'm a large. I'm a medium
Okay,
large.
medium large.
Yeah.
Okay, I was surprised. I was kind of like halfway between. Like I could use the large if I like tightened it really tight, or I could use the small medium if it was kind of on the other end of things. So I
I
now
have to
settled
use
on
the
the small.
large.
Yeah, I settled on the
Um,
small.
I can fit the third hole on the large, like the third to the last hole on large. Um, but I like it just a little bit looser, so I use the second to the last hole on the large. Um,
Second to the away from the watch.
yeah, away from the watch face.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So
I have a
so
pretty big wrist.
I started with the second to the last on the small, and now I'm third to the last, or the same position. So like,
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
so yeah,
So
mine is the third. I started with the second. So I started with the second, but I'm at three, and
yeah.
I'm on the small band. So I
Oh
must have
okay.
tiny wrists or something.
Yeah. Well, I think I just have big wrists. I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
But I
So,
also, my boss says the black leather loop he doesn't use anymore, so he gave that to me, and I got a black leather loop. I tried it. Something I would definitely wear more on formal occasions because it's much less comfortable than the sport band.
yeah.
Like it's amazing how like it looks like a comfy band, but it's
Also, those bands are expensive. Like when I
150 for that
yeah,
one.
I was looking at
I want the black
uh,
link bracelet. That's the one I want. That's 450. That's the most expensive
yeah,
band. It's more than the watch was by a good margin. Well,
it's crazy.
that $50 for retail. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, four
Some
fifty
of
for just
the
the band. I want it though because like black and gold would look black links with this gold look so hot. I mean, come on, it look great.
I don't know if I'd say it's hot, but
You're not a gold fan, man. I don't get it. This is champagne. This is like a subtle, like brushed kind of
yeah,
like here.
not really a huge fan of the gold, but I'm just more of a space gray guy.
You're a Darth Vader kind of guy.
Yeah.
Would you Was it budget that had it, you in the stainless not getting stainless steel? Was that
No, I knew right when I saw the watch. I mean, even though it, like, I was conscious about, I wanted to have a lower cost. I don't want to spend $1,000 on a watch.
like
It
looks?
was,
Would you have gotten the black with the stainless steel
no, it was still
link?
the
Okay.
like aluminum that I like.
Okay.
So I just got lucky, I guess, that the aluminum's the cheap one,
Yeah.
because that's what I like. I always tend to go with a matte finish on everything. I
Hmm.
don't really like the really shiny stuff. So
Well, I guess I mean, the stainless scuff's easy, which I guess you can buff it out, but that's, I guess, a
yeah,
common thing.
I have a friend that like works for Apple, and so he got the half off the watch, and that was the reason why he got the stainless one is because it was
Did
just
they give them
cheaper
half
for
off
him.
editions if they wanted one?
Uh, no, if I remember right, that was the like you can get half off everything except for like the
The
gold.
edition, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the same way. It's like I got half off. Yeah, rock the edition.
yeah.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, he got the stainless one with the black sport band,
yeah.
and we were talking about because I was like, man, like the second day I had my watch, I was driving, and I looked down at my watch and I noticed something on the left side. It looked like a scratch, and I was like, no, are you serious? This is the first day
Yeah.
I just scratched this thing. And so I kind of rubbed at it, and it was just something on it, and it just like
I
fell
am
off.
worried
And I was
about
like, oh,
the
okay.
glass. I'm very careful. Like the glass worries me. That's not sapphire.
I haven't been trying to be careful with it or anything. I haven't got anything on it, but he did tell me that his watch does have quite a bit of scuffs on it. He has got the stainless one, and mine doesn't have any scuffs, and I have the
Yeah, you get the
aluminums.
shiny iPod finish.
Yeah,
Basically, that's what happens, right?
yeah.
But I guess you can debuff it, and I wonder if there's tools for that to do it yourself. One of the cool things with iOS 9 is any app that does the reply with a notification pushes that to the watch. So there's apps that don't have watch apps, but you can still reply to notifications of, which is
Oh
really
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, like I just got like a good example. Well, this one wouldn't be something you can reply, but this Twitch, you get notifications for
Hmm.
Twitch whenever someone goes live, and you get those on your watch. So it's nice to be able to get all your notifications there.
But
So
yeah, before Messenger had an app, you got to reply to it because I think they enabled the reply feature there, or some other app. It might have been Twitter or something. But there was some app that didn't have a. There was some app that didn't have a. They waited use a didn't have a watch app and you could do it, which is really cool. So what what else? What else? Um, you haven't paired any Bluetooth headphones to it. I'm gathering.
no.
Okay, I've done that. It's there is a bug, I guess, with Apple Music. If you sync Apple Music to the watch and your subscription ends, it'll still play back because there's no verification on the watch. Power
Yeah,
tip.
I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah, it's quite the thing. Um, now, have you filled out the friend circles? Like, are you using the friend circles?
Yeah,
I've got one for
I
work and
have.
one for family and friends and stuff.
Yeah, I just put people on there. Just there isn't really like any order right now. I probably should do that, but yeah, I just put people that the first people on my list are always the people that have an Apple Watch. They're always in the first slots, and then everyone,
Interesting, because like my
yeah,
first contact is the person I text with all day long. Like
yeah.
that. That's the free. I do it by frequency, basically.
Yeah, I just did the Apple Watch people first, and then I have other people.
How many Apple Watch
And
people do you have
like
in
I
your
said,
life?
four, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't really send a lot of stuff to people. I was saying earlier, like I don't like I'm the person who always receives, and I'll reply to stuff, but I
Yeah.
don't really like initiate conversations. So for me, that thing isn't very useful unless I'm just I have a friend. Like one of my friends has the Apple Watch, and sometimes we'll just like mess around, and tap stuff, and
You'll
send
touch
little
each other.
drawings. Yeah, we'll send little drawings and stuff. Um, and so that's what I use the friend circle for. So
Now, what do you use Siri for on the watch? Have you used that a lot?
I the number one thing is to make calls.
Okay.
If I need to call somebody, I'll just say call this person, and then um, that's about it. Yeah, I don't really use it for much else.
Not a timer person or anything like that.
No, and I have people that tell me about the Apple Watches. They love the timer that they use all the time. I only have used it a couple of times. I'm not really much of a timer person. Like
I
the
did
only
do
time.
something kind of fun, which was I want to take an afternoon nap, so I told Siri on my watch to wake me up in 30 minutes,
Oh
and
yeah.
it vibrated and woke me up in 30 minutes. It was great.
I did set like a reminder a couple of times using Siri, but that's about it.
Cool. Yeah, reminders are pretty handy. There's no app. There's no app for reminders or notes. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But the like alarm function on there is really nice because
It's my new
I
morning alarm
think.
clock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't replaced my alarm clock, but I think a few days after I had it, I worked a really long shift at work. It was because it was like the iPhone launch, so I was like, I'm
Oh,
gonna work
sure.
some
Yeah.
overtime and stuff, and I worked like 16 hours. And so over my lunch, I decided to take a nap. So I went into the nap room, and I was like, let me just test out this alarm. And it was nice because it just taps you to wake up. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice thing. I mean, especially for naps. Like, I wouldn't want to wear. People are saying, "Oh, you should be able to wear the watch while you sleep all night long." It's like I need my skin to breathe sometimes, guys. I mean, come
yeah.
on. Uh,
Did
so,
you use like the nightstand feature? I haven't even used that yet.
oh, I use it, and I'll tell you, I'm very confused why people feel the need to buy stands for their Apple Watch and docks and stuff. Because I'm just using the soft part of the long thing it came in, the part that's got the um, felt. So you get the rectangle box and you get that
Yeah.
plastic box. So I'm using half of it with the felt, and I just have it plugged in magnetically or whatever, and on its side, and it never falls over. It's perfectly. It seems like it was
So
designed for that.
you put your charger into the box.
It's just laying. It's just. I'm only using half the box, so that plastic box.
Yeah.
I took the part with the felt on it and just have it on the desk next to my bed.
And that's where you have your charger underneath it, and you just like set your
Yeah,
watch
so
in.
I have the cord feeding back behind my desk into it, so it doesn't it basically just rests naturally there inside
Oh,
that
okay.
rectangle up,
Okay.
and then I just yeah lay the Apple Watch and have the bands out stretched
Yeah,
out.
I don't even use I like once I pulled the watch out of the box, I just put that away. I don't use. I mean, I was like, it's a pretty cool box. I might use that at some point, but I don't even take my watch into the bedroom at night. I have actually right behind me this direction on the table right next to my couch. There is my charger. And so I'm normally, in this room right before I go to bed, and I'll take my watch off and set it there, and then before I go to work, I grab it as I
Huh.
walk out the door. So
Yeah, so I've got it set up to wake me up every morning, Monday through Friday at a certain time. It's loud enough to wake me up. I have a backup on my iPhone that's louder in case. And you don't even need to touch the friend button to turn off the alarm. You just tap the screen and it turns off, which is kind of nice. That's something I am doing. Like I'm so glad you just tap the screen to turn on the screen if the wrist thing doesn't work.
yeah,
Like that's super handy. Yeah.
yep,
Um, so you're not using nightstand. And then the other thing with some of those docks, they're like, are people actually like? They seem not to be designed. They seem designed to have like a fake hand where it's latched up again. You know,
yeah. So
that
when
seems
I
weird.
first when those first started coming out before I had the watch, I was like, those are pretty cool. You're gonna have these stands for your watch to charge and all this. But then now that I have it, I'm like, I think that'd be pretty pointless. I don't think you need it. So I don't know. I don't know why people have those.
Yeah, I think the box works pretty well. I think I like my box approach, but I can see. I don't know. Who knows? More space efficiency using a smaller stand. I guess I'm not sure. I'd also be worried about it dropping off one of those docks. The stands, like, oops. Crap.
Well, like the magnet's pretty strong on there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's true. Um, so anything
but
else
yeah,
on the watch? Anything else
I
you?
think that the final thing that I would have to say about it is, comes across in our conversation is that you can see how customizable it is and how everyone is going to have like a different approach to how they use it,
Totally.
which is really cool because I mean, you can do that with an extent or to an extent with your phone or like your iPad, but not as much as you can with the watch. And that was one of their selling points. Is saying it's so personal. You can customize it and use it exactly to the way that you want and that you need, unlike any other product that I've ever had. It's
Totally.
really cool.
Yeah. I have been disappointed with WatchOS 2 developers. It seems like they all gave up. So please, developers, don't give up on the watch. Start making apps again. That was a big disappointment. Like I was surprised that we did not see more of that happen. Is that any kind of shock to you?
No, I kind of figured that there that the like native watch apps weren't going to take off that quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully they start to roll out. Especially the fitness ones for me at least. I want them to keep it.
I think they will. I think the fitness ones will probably be some of the first ones, but I think it'll still take time. People are pretty like when it comes to watches. I guess they're kind of leery. I
Yeah.
don't know. But then once you have it, then you don't know what you did without it.
Yeah. Some are very appropriate apps. Some are. Why are you here? Um, and then you upgrade in like 15 minutes. Mine took a long time to upgrade. It took me
Yeah,
like
my upgrade went
2 hours.
pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're fast.
that.
So my computer's about to die. It's a 7% battery. So I think we should wrap it up, Mr. Aaron. Thank you for talking Apple Watch here.
Yeah,
We are part
it
of
was a
the
lot of fun.
OS2 people that did not spend our days with OS1
Yep.
like animals. So where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me all spaces with the same username AL Rivera 423.
Very good. Well, thanks again for your time.
What?
Thanks again for your time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Anytime.